Hi, I'm Susie and this is Jill, and together we are Eco Zero. We thought today it would be a good opportunity to give you a bit of background about ourselves and why I've decided to start up the Eco Zero group. So I'm a mum of two and I work as a freelance designer and space planner. And both my children went to North Waltham School. That's the reason why I called the group Eco Zero, Oakley and North Waltham. But apart from that, I also have a real passion for environmental issues. I decided to start up Eco Zero in December 2018 after watching the Blue Planet episode on plastic pollution, and I remember feeling really overwhelmed about the scale of plastic pollution in our oceans and how it's affecting our environment. It really got me thinking about researching into what small changes we could start making at home to try and make some kind of difference, no matter how small. Now, I'm no expert on climate change, but whilst at university, I studied environmental management, and this gave me a really good understanding of sourcing sustainable materials and how certain manufacturing processes can affect the environment. Later on, after having children, I then started a little business from home making wooden and fabric decorations from recycled and reclaimed materials. So I can say it was definitely a subject that I was slowly becoming a lot more aware of, and watching Blue Planet was the real wake-up call for me. Now, anyone who knows Jill will know that she's also the font of all knowledge when it comes to subjects on fair trade and environmental issues. So once I'd started the group, it made sense to have a good friend like Jill on board to help me moderate and share all of her amazing knowledge with the local community. Fast forward a couple of years later, and we're at our second Green Week, and in unprecedented times we're currently hosting this year's Green Week from Jill's back garden. We decided to talk to you today about how we can all make small changes and simple swaps in our day-to-day life. It can seem really overwhelming to know where to start, but making small changes, they really will add up and make a big difference. And sometimes, apart from household recycling, returning carry bags and trying to shop ethical brands, which are all great things in themselves, but it can just seem like such a minefield that we don't even begin thinking outside of the box. So this is where Eco Zero comes in today, and hopefully the information we'll be giving you will help bridge the gap for you.
Well, thank you for your very kind words, Susie. I doubt I'm a font of all knowledge, but I do like to bang on about the environment quite a lot. So I'm Jill. I'm also a mum of two, and both my children go to Oakley School, and Susie and I knew each other when our children went to the barn together. And originally I was a school teacher. I was a school teacher in London, and quite early on in my career, in the early 90s, I got involved in a programme called Rethink Rubbish. It was run by Western Riverside, and I became the school's Waste Watch coordinator. We started doing lots of paper recycling in the classrooms and putting recycling bins for cans and bottles in the corridors, and doing lots of awareness raising events about recycling. And not long after that, I was actually filmed for a BBC World TV programme because I'd set up the first Remarkable shop in a school. So Remarkable made stationery products from recycled products, from recycling plastic items, so printers and printer cartridges, and they took rulers and rubber tires and made them into notebook covers, and made pens from the little crinkly bottles you get at the drink dispenser. And that was, I suppose, really where my passion began. I was very involved in Waste Watch and in this campaign. And when I took a break from teaching, we went travelling. My husband and I went travelling. I saw an awful lot of poverty firsthand in South America and in Mexico, and it really changed us. It really changed us. We came back wanting to be less swept away by consumerism and by wanting the newest things all the time. We just wanted to be less greedy. And I decided not to go straight back into teaching, and I went and got a job with a recycling company. So I worked for a company now based in Alton, at the time where they were in Guildford, selling a recycling service, mainly to car garages, servicing centres and body shop outfits, trying to get them to recycle all of the plastics and all of the packaging materials and so on. And I was good at it because I was passionate about it. I couldn't have sold bathrooms or computer parts. I could sell it because it was recycling. So I did that for 6 years. I'm actually now a technical writer and copywriter and proofreader, so my job at the moment is quite varied. But my passion about recycling really carried on, not just recycling, but doing the right thing by the planet and trying to be ethical. And when we first moved here to this area, I actually became a recycling champion for Hampshire. But they didn't use us very much. They didn't really get us to do a huge amount of stuff. But in the same week, I joined the Fair Trade group. And the Fair Trade group really did use me. They immediately said, oh, come along and see what it's like to give a talk, and come along and see. And I ended up running the group for nearly 10 years, trying to get people to think about their shopping choices and about what you put in your trolley and what kind of impact that has for other people in the planet, and just how really little changes you make here can have a huge ripple, the little ripple in the big pond. They have a huge effect for other people and for the environment. Fair Trade isn't just about people. They do use far fewer pesticides and fertilizers. It's a really sort of good initiative. But really, I felt like I'd been banging on about these things for over 25 years and people still weren't really listening. I'd probably lost a bit of my zip. I was still doing it. I was still doing it all myself. My husband and I did a lot of things. We even did an ethical Christmas. We got in the Gazette for buying things. We did a Christmas where everything was either recycled, organic, locally made or fair trade. And the Gazette pictured me holding a bottle of fair trade wine and my newborn baby, which just made me look like an alcoholic mother. But my passion was always still there, but I was just kind of doing it myself. And then Susie got really fired up, and it was brilliant because it really properly rekindled my passion again. She was so, just upset that we were ruining the planet, and I was like, yeah. And so together it's been great because her newfound passion and kind of just being really stirred up by David Attenborough's programme totally rekindled that same passion in me. And so when she asked me to help with Eco Zero, I was really pleased to do so. We did a great stall at the Green Week last year and talked to lots of people about the things that you could do. So that's kind of what we'd like to try and do today.